I would like to thank Odd Rocker for sending me this particular story. It's actually more so of an update. If y'all don't know who this individual is, this is James H. Jackson. Now we're going to take it back 2 years. If you remember back in 2017, this individual traveled from Baltimore, Maryland, all the way up to New York with the intent of killing a black person to incite a race war. He was a staunch white supremacist. His goal was that he was going to kill any black man that he saw intermingling or in a relationship with a white woman. Well, that didn't happen, but what ended up happening is he found this older black gentleman who was on the street just collecting cans by the name of Timothy Caughman, who he ended up stabbing to death. They ended up catching him and he was thrown into jail. Now, I didn't know that last month of this year, on January 23rd or around that time, he actually pleaded guilty to the crimes that he was accused of. Well, sentence just got passed today where he will now be spending the rest of his life behind bars. They finally get one right. One out of I don't know how many. And I believe it's most likely life without parole. So there's no guarantee or anything that he's going to get out of prison on any type of good behavior. Like, they're literally throwing the entire book at his ass, and it's well deserved. And one thing that I also like when I was skimming through the article was when they mentioned Timothy Caughman's family. Nowhere in that article did the family mention anything about them forgiving this guy, which also is a rarity, because you know they love to try to get that forgiveness junk out of black people all the time. All the family basically said is that this guy was just cruel. He's thoughtless, all types of things to describe this man, and then some. And when I just look at his face in this image right here, it makes me want to, I'm going to go ahead and say it makes me want to spit on him. And I know that's one of the most disgusting things you could do to a human being. Sorry about that. But yeah, I know that's one of the most disgusting things you could ever do to a human being. But to me, he is the lowest of the low. He is disgusting. As a matter of fact, I take that back. I don't even think I would want to spit on him, because in my opinion, that would be a waste of some good grade A melanated saliva. But you know what? Since he's spending life in prison, hopefully he'll be spending it in general population, and he can get an ass whooping every day that he is in there, and get the same kind of treatment that Jason Van Dyke just received in Connecticut. That's all I have to say about this. I can say that they actually got one right. And you know what's interesting too? If you take it back a few years before this actually happened, back in 2015, Dylan Roof tried to do the same thing. He said, I want to start a race war. So he went into a black church and killed 9 black people. And he too is now, well, he's on death row. It's amazing how you have a lot of these staunch racist individuals say that black people are reverse racist and with this, that, and the third, and why do we keep trying to divide people and cause a race war? I don't know how a race war can be really caused by words or by black people calling out racism. But you have this individual that used the blade and Dylan Roof who used the bullet and killed innocent black people that didn't do anything to them except exist. And what they were trying to do was to kick up dust and get something kick started. But we're called the bad guys. Somebody please help me make that make sense.